Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us on Reinventing Mental Health, where we're exploring root causes of mental health and naturopathic solutions. Today, we have my friend Drake visiting us to talk about peptides. So, thank you so much for being here today.
Of course, I'm so happy to be here. Super excited for this.
So, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and what your journey to your current career was.
Like everyone that's in the career of health wellness, it's always a different story, but it's always got the same start.
Mhm.
Kind of like let down by Western medicine.
Yep.
At 16, I was diagnosed with scoliosis. So I had like a small curvature in my spine. And this was a problem for me because like I was doing all the sports. I was in track, I was playing football, I was baseball, which I was terrible at. To be fair, I was bad at all the sports, but I liked playing um, martial arts. But it was like after every practice, after every training, it was my lower back was like hurting.
Mhm.
Mom was like, "You're 15, you're 16, you shouldn't be in pain like this." So she took me to get an MRI, and chiropractor was like, "You have scoliosis." Got a second opinion from a medical doctor. You have scoliosis. The only thing that's going to happen is as you continue playing sports, as you continue
Mhm.
exercising, it's going to get worse. So you're going to have to just stop doing that. And eventually, in your mid 20s, you're going to need to get rods and pins in your back.
Mhm.
And that's going to really limit your mobility.
Mhm.
So then I was like, all right, I don't want surgery now.
Mhm.
So let me just hold off on this. I guess I'll just stop doing all the sports. I'll stop exercising. I'll stop doing all the things that I really enjoyed doing as a
Mhm.
teenager. And I'm sure anyone's had teenage boys knows like there's a bit of testosterone there. It can turn into aggression if you're not doing things
Getting it
right.
out. Yep.
Then I was like, I didn't have the best, most productive path after that.
Mhm.
Definitely sprouted into like depression, late teens, early 20s,
Mhm.
and that continued on for decades. And so one day I was listening to a podcast and I heard Paul Saldino talk about the
Mhm.
carnivore diet, and I was like, that doesn't call to me. I don't want to eat meat all the time. But then he was discussing how he changed his own opinion on that, and he
Mhm.
started to introduce fruits and honey to it. I was like, I can do that. I was like,
Mhm.
because I had tried keto before, because neuroinflammation is supposedly good for you,
Mhm.
it reduces it, and try that. And lo and behold, I just stopped having depression.
Mhm.
The psychiatrists, doctors tried loading me up with all the different antidepressants.
Mhm.
I was very resistant to them, both because I didn't want to do them and also just didn't work.
Mhm.
I just changed up my diet. It went away.
It's crazy when you get the right fat and nutrients into the brain and the body. Yeah. Mm.
And so I was like, all right, a little disillusioned with the whole system from at
Mhm.
that point. I was like, what else was I lied to about?
Mhm.
So I was like, all right, I wonder if let me look into make my back a little bit stronger. I liked lifting.
Mhm.
A friend got me into lifting. I was like, "Ugh, this hurts my back all the time." I was like,
Mhm.
I don't like this. I was like, well, I heard about alternative methods of eating. So why not alternative methods of lifting
Mhm.
as opposed to, because I was just, when I was in high school, they didn't teach you how to lift. They just brought all the teenage boys into the gym room and were like,
Mhm.
go lift up the heavy things and put it back down. I was like, all right. And honestly, that probably attributed to my scoliosis, like improper
Mhm.
lifting, because
Yep.
I understood, oh, there's a bunch of tiny muscles in the back. So then I was like, all right, I want to learn more about this. Went and got my personal training certification just so I could learn more about the human body.
Mhm.
And in a year or so, I was like, my back pain just went away. So all of a sudden, in my late 20s,
Mhm.
I had a small child who I loved. And I was like, I need to start doing all the things because like that was what helped me motivate it.
Mhm.
Because like I was depressed, I didn't want to do anything. I was spending too many hours inside watching TV, just didn't care about life.
Mhm.
And changed my diet, started exercising appropriately, and now I feel amazing every day. I
Good.
can deadlift over double my body weight, which doctors are like, that's just going to break your spine, especially if you have scoliosis.
Mhm.
I was like, cool, you were all wrong.
Mhm.
And I would say for the first couple years after that, I was angry at the system,
Mhm.
which is past now. So now I'm just like, instead of having anger, I'm just going to help all the other people that were, I don't even think lied to at this point anymore. I think there was just incompetency from the top down
Mhm.
because they didn't want people to feel better. They were just like, there's no money in it.
Mhm.
No doctor's getting money from me because I'm eating healthier and going
Yeah.
to the gym.
Well, and if they give you that back surgery, then you're in pain for the rest of your life. And my aunt had back surgery many, many years ago. She can't sleep on a bed. She can't travel. She can't drive. And they've gone in and redone surgery on her spine like 9 times. So yeah, you're forever a patient at that point.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And I made that connection maybe like 2 years ago because I grew up uh, borderline poverty, lower middle class, and
Mhm.
all the kids, it was like, once you're in the system, you're in it. And I made the connection a few years ago. It's like, it's not just the like traditional system of like courts, it's also
Mhm.
in the medical system.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like they copied and pasted. It's like, once you're in the system, you're staying in the system forever.
Mhm.
And it's just like these big government organizations are, they all have the same playbook. Get them in, keep them in.
Yep. Yep. So, what are some other things besides the exercise and the diet that you've done in order to heal yourself? And how are you healing other people today?
Well, one of the big things now is I work a lot with peptides and other um, ancillary compounds
Okay.
because I've found that not everyone has that drive like I did. Like,
Mhm.
for what it's worth, as much as anger is a poison, it can still be used as fuel.
Oh,
And,
absolutely. Mhm.
but not everyone has that anger. Sometimes they're fed up. They don't want to deal with it anymore.
Mhm.
So now I found like there are compounds like um, Selang, CMAX, CJC, all these different peptides and other not nutritional supplements, but other ones that can help increase your energy levels.
Mhm.
And I've had remarkable success with that. And initially, when I first got into personal training and health coaching and nutrition coaching, it was no, the only thing you need to do is eat good, exercise, that's it. But there takes a certain amount of willpower with that not
Mhm.
everyone has.
Yep.
There's discipline required with it. And I found that using other supplements, other peptides,
Mhm.
it gives them more of that energy to get that willpower in. It helps them cement in those habits, the discipline, the motivation, so that that way they get results faster
Mhm.
and that stacks upon itself.
So, can you explain for our viewers who don't know what a peptide is? What is a peptide and what is its mechanism inside of the body?
So all peptides have slightly different mechanisms,
Mhm.
but the most popular peptide of all time, the one
Mhm.
that people have been on for decades,
Mhm.
is insulin.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
diabetics, they're biohackers essentially because they're taking a peptide,
Mhm.
they inject it, it signals to the body, hey, use this to shuttle the blood glucose all around as is needed.
Mhm.
Uh, and that's been around for decades.
Mhm.
Peptides are essentially molecules or hormones or agonists, basically meaning like they tell your body to create the hormone
Mhm.
that you inject into your body that's signaling your body just to do X, Y, Z.
Okay.
Um, and they have very safe profiles
Mhm.
if done appropriately.
Mhm.
Uh, I would say the next most popular peptide that everyone's aware of now is Ozempic.
Okay. The GLP ones.
Yes.
Yep.
So, and you're seeing media just hammering like, oh, you got
Mhm.
Ozempic fix now, I think is the newest one. Or I think it was like issues with thyroid.
Mhm.
And they're just hammering away at all these things, all the negative connotations with it.
Mhm.
But again, the reason Ozempic is even getting any of that negative backlash is because Western medicine got its hands on it.
Okay. Mhm.
And they're like, all right, let's give you, if some works,
Mhm.
more is better, which is
Not
very,
always true.
very Western medicine.
Mhm. Yep.
So, like, I know the protocol, like, off the top of my head for Ozempic, it's 1.5 milligrams to start, and you just titrate up there every few weeks. Not based on the person, how they're
Mhm.
feeling, how they're responding to it. It's just take this for a month, go up. Take this, stay at that
Which
amount,
doesn't
go up.
make a whole lot of sense. In homeopathy, you're microdosing everything because just introducing it then triggers your body to do what it's supposed to do. Mhm.
And you'll see, like, think it's like 70-80% of the people that take Ozempic at those levels, they all report they feel nauseous.
Mhm.
They don't, the sight of food, they don't like it anymore.
Mhm.
And yet they still stick with it because it's super powerful.
Mhm.
When I've worked with it for my clients, it's let's start at a quarter of that dose, if not less,
Mhm.
and then see how you feel. Like you said, you microdose and you work up because I think that nausea, the issues with the gut,
Mhm.
is a negative side effect.
Yeah.
You don't want those.
No.
You can bring it back and still get great results.
Mhm.
But essentially, peptides are all just things that tell your body to do what it naturally does,
Mhm.
but more.
Okay. So, what are some that you've come in contact with for mental health type symptoms, like, say, anxiety?
Love it because I actually took one right before I came here. It's
Okay.
called Selenk.
Okay.
That is a very interesting peptide. It's
Mhm.
not super popular, but it works in the brain to help just regulate different neurotransmitters.
Okay.
Neurotransmitters are responsible for all of our thoughts. They're just the chemicals that signal, hey, you want to do this, you want to do that, you're going to feel relaxed, you're going to be driven today. They're responsible for every connection in our brain.
Mhm.
Selenk helps to reduce anxiety. It's an anti-anxiolytic, and it also increases blood flow to the brain. So it allows you to be a little bit more focused and sharp.
Mhm.
It's like a nootropic
Okay.
while also bringing down anxiety.
Nice. Okay.
So especially if you're going to go on a podcast and talk and be in front of people and have to perform, it
Mhm.
works wonderfully.
Okay. Now, what are some that you've seen for things like ADHD?
That's a tricky one
Mhm.
because again, ADHD has so many symptoms
Mhm.
or so many causes.
Mhm.
It's not just one thing. And honestly, the same thing for anxiety.
Mhm.
There's never one root cause, but for ADHD in particular, I don't know if there's a particular peptide just for that. However, there's a protocol where you can use um, different nutritional supplements supplemented with CMAX,
Okay.
which is it upregulates dopamine a little bit,
Mhm.
which can help with focus and drive.
Mhm.
Couple that with another one called Pept, which also helps to modulate dopamine.
Mhm.
And those taken together really increase focus, not to the same extent as Adderall does, because Adderall is just meth.
Mhm.
These kind of just help with that focus
Okay.
portion without the super amped up. I'm just
Mhm.
going to do this for the next 16 hours, focus on a single task.
Mhm. Now, have you ever used saffron in conjunction with any of the peptides to help people with ADHD?
I use that a lot
Okay.
because saffron is such a unique and interesting
Mhm.
uh, flower. Because while it does help with ADHD anxiety, it doesn't just work on that pathway. Saffron works on all of the neurotransmitters, helps just
Mhm.
modulate them. It modulating just means if it goes too high, it helps bring it back down. If it goes too low, it helps bring it up a little bit.
Mhm.
Now, while it's not it's powerful, but it's not going to be a cure all by itself.
Right.
But working with other modalities, it's
Mhm.
super powerful.
Yeah. We have a lot of families that like saffron, whether they're doing it through tea or they're actually just putting the leaf or the bud in their mouth. We've seen a lot of families that are reporting good progress with that. Now, with the peptides, is there research on using it in children or only in adults right now?
There's not a ton of research for children,
Mhm.
only because they're still new. There's not a ton of research in peptides in general
Okay.
because, again, how they work and what the reason they're so safe
Mhm.
is because 95% of them are all naturally made in our bodies.
Mhm.
Insulin, it's naturally made in our bodies.
Mhm.
The GLP-1s, they're not the hormone themselves. They antagonize your body to produce more GLP, which is a hormone we create.
Mhm.
And these companies, they can't patent the actual molecule itself.
Right.
So, like Ozempic, uh, which the actual peptide name is semaglutide,
Mhm.
they didn't patent semaglutide. They patented the delivery mechanism. And then Big Pharma, Eli Lilly in particular, was like, hey guys, we patented the delivery mechanism. If any of you even so much as look at the molecule itself, we're just going to send our team of lawyers that cost us millions of dollars a year to shut you down.
Mhm.
So they're they can't put a lot of research money into it because they can't patent the actual molecule themselves.
Okay. Mhm.
However, I've known biohackers, I've seen read anecdotal evidence, like they're incredibly powerful for
Mhm.
children. And something I'm coming across now, because one of the main drawbacks of peptides
Mhm.
is that most of them have to be injected
Okay.
because they're such a fragile molecule
Mhm.
that if you take them orally, they get broken down, they don't have an effect.
Okay. Mhm.
Uh, What I'm looking into, and this just came onto my radar relatively recently,
Mhm.
is you can nebulize them.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you reconstitute them, put them
Mhm.
into a mesh nebulizer,
Mhm.
and breathe it in.
Okay.
And that has been shown to be really powerful for children, like helping them get over any of those issues,
Mhm.
particularly um, BPC, which is another pretty common and popular peptide because it's
Mhm.
a healing peptide. You
Okay.
can nebulize that, and it helps reduce inflammation throughout the entire body.
Mhm.
And because you're breathing into your nose, it also helps reduce inflammation in the brain.
Okay. Very cool. I've never heard of that one. So, okay. So, if somebody wants to look more into peptides and work with somebody who's using peptides, either locally or online, how do they know that they're working with somebody that they can trust?
That's difficult
Mhm.
because it's such a new area, like expertise for anyone.
Mhm.
Even myself, I stay on top of all the cutting edge peptides.
Mhm.
Well, that's maybe 3 years of research. Even the, as we call them, OGs in the space, people have been doing
Mhm.
it since basically the inception of peptides
Mhm.
in America, maybe 10 years. And those are like the people that were on the cutting edge of the cutting edge 10 years ago.
Okay.
So, like, it's a new space.
Mhm.
Most people still don't even know about it. The only reason some people even know about it is just because of Ozempic.
Mhm. I think I learned about it through the biohacking conferences. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
biohackers, we like the peptides a lot.
Mhm.
There's so many here in Austin that just they love it, but there's not a ton of people that coach others on how to use it.
Okay.
But also finding someone that can help you navigate the whole realm
Mhm.
is still going to be a little tricky because at this point, because it's still so new, a lot of people that are um, talking about helping others go through it, they also have a stake in a company.
Okay.
So, like my mentors, who I've learned a ton from,
Mhm.
they have their own peptide company, and
Mhm.
while I trust them, they're at the end of the day, they're still like ours is the best because we make it.
Mhm.
So I still have to take it with a grain of salt. Still love all the information. There's a ton of great books out there.
Mhm.
Um, and as the realm starts to open up and expand, and as the government starts to hopefully lax some regulation on peptides, you'll start seeing more and more people
Mhm.
um, become certified and have safe profiles with everyone, like good safety profiles.
Okay.
So there's one institute called I think it's the National Peptide Institute, something along that line.
Mhm.
They have certifications for peptides,
Okay.
but they can only use a certain amount of peptides because there's only so many that are approved for
Mhm.
human use.
Okay.
And so, like the ones I'm using,
Mhm.
Selenk that I'm on right now, I'm also
Mhm.
taking Melanotan. Those don't have human efficacy trials for anywhere.
Mhm.
So there's no uh, certification to
Mhm.
use those ones.
Okay.
A lot of the online sites, pretty much
Mhm.
every single one of them,
Mhm.
they sell it for research purposes only, and
Okay.
it's not for human consumption.
Okay. Interesting.
So it
Mhm.
it makes it a very unique field
Mhm.
to get access into.
Okay. What are some books that you'd recommend to people?
Uh, there's one by Jay Campbell, Therapeutic Use of Peptides.
Mhm.
Another one I really liked was Peptide Protocols by Dr. William Seeds.
Okay.
That I will say that one is only like that thick of a book, but it took me a
Mhm.
month to get through because it's extremely nuanced. It's
Mhm.
very scientific.
Okay.
I'd read a couple pages. I'm like, all right, I need to go look up what some of these words mean.
Okay. Yep. I get that from some books too. Yep.
Mhm.
Especially research articles. Yeah. Is there anything in the field right now that you're really excited about or that you're paying close attention to that you're expecting is going to do something big in the next few years?
Yes, and that is utilizing peptides synergistically.
Okay.
Um, so right now, there's a popular blend called the
Mhm.
Wolverine stack.
Okay.
So it's named after the
Mhm.
Marvel comic hero Wolverine, who can just heal instantaneously.
Mhm.
So it is a blend of BPC 157, TB 500, um, CJC 1295, and ipamorelin.
Mhm.
So lots. There's no really good names for those yet because they're not branded. It's just if you go through like the list of all the peptides, it's like these are really weird names. They're not catchy at all.
Yep.
Uh, so what those do is they signal to the body
Mhm.
to reduce inflammation, regenerate nerve tissue, regenerate soft tissue, and excrete more growth hormone to allow your whole body to just repair everything.
Okay.
So you can cut down healing time
Mhm.
dramatically. I've seen anecdotal evidence of people healing from like muscle tears
Mhm.
in a month
Wow.
versus it would normally take them like 6 months to do it.
Mhm. Yeah, that's crazy. That's awesome. So if somebody wants to purchase any of the peptides, where do they go to do that?
There's a few sites online, like
Mhm.
I've had to vet a lot of sources
Mhm.
for it because Peptide Sciences is like the most common one online,
Mhm.
but I think a lot of, and I don't want to get anyone in trouble, but I found better vendors. Like
Mhm.
when they switch over to the ones I recommend, it's like, oh, the ones I got from Peptide Sciences weren't the best that I was paying for. They were cheaper, but they
Mhm.
notice the difference. My favorite one is Bio Longevity Labs.
Okay.
That one is by Jay Campbell and Hunter Williams. They
Mhm.
helped found that one.
Okay.
And they're doing some really cool things because they just came out with strips for it. And basically, they look like those. If you remember back in the day, those Listerine strips,
Mhm.
like the mouthwash ones,
Yep.
they look exactly like that. And
Okay.
they just go on the top of your mouth,
Mhm.
like roof of your mouth, and they dissolve through there. So they're 90% as effective as an
Mhm.
injection.
Wow. Okay.
So that's a really cool way to get introduced to peptides
Mhm.
without needing to inject anything.
Okay.
Now, they only have a couple
Mhm.
right now that you can actually do that with, and they're definitely pricier because like these didn't exist like 2 months ago.
Okay. Very cool.
Mhm.
So when you're looking at the prices for peptides, like what is the average price range?
Anywhere from between $50 to $300, depending on the peptide.
Okay.
So like Ozempic, all the weight loss ones, they all command a higher price tag,
Mhm.
just supply and demand.
Yep.
And then some of the more uncommon ones, like the one I'm on, Melanotan 1,
Mhm.
that one's like $50 for 2 week supply.
And what is that one for?
That's a fun one. It helps your body get tanner more naturally.
Okay.
It increases consciousness, so
Mhm.
I can meditate a little bit deeper while I'm taking it,
Okay.
and it increases libido.
Okay.
So it's a fun one.
Okay.
Um,
Right.
I've also known some people they experience a weight loss effect with it as well. Nothing as pronounced as the GLP-1s,
Okay.
but they're like, I started taking it and I dropped a couple pounds in fat,
Mhm.
like nothing crazy. Because also you can't take it for too long.
Okay.
So with all the peptides, you always only ever run them through cycles.
Mhm.
I don't believe there's a single peptide that should be taken indefinitely.
Okay.
They are not a nutritional supplement.
Mhm.
They are an exogenous form and because it's still so new. And again, they're very safe, but we don't have long-term clinical trials saying like, hey, if you take this growth hormone secreting peptide for the next 2 years, nothing bad will ever happen to you.
Mhm.
And while there's some people who are like, yeah, I took it, no issues. Um, it's still just we don't have good enough evidence because everyone's going to react a little bit differently.
Mhm.
So you're going to want to cycle them off and on.
Okay.
And so like I mentioned, like it's $50 for Melanotan to take it for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
I'm only going to take it for 2 weeks
Okay.
because again, one of the side effects you get tanner.
Mhm.
I only want to become so dark.
Mhm.
I've heard some pretty hilarious stories of people that take a lot of it,
Mhm.
and people are like, "It looks like you changed race." It- it's wild how effective it works.
Okay.
Like I've only been taking for 4 days, and I've already noticed like I'm getting tanner.
Mhm.
And normally it takes me a while to get tan. My skin has been very resistant to the sun.
Mhm.
In 4 days, I'm already like a couple shades darker.
Okay. All right. Very cool. All right. If somebody wants to reach out to you for guidance, how would they do that?
They can email me at Drake, Drayke, at
Mhm.
getgreathealth.com, or you can find me on Instagram, BuffBiohacker.
Okay. All right. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here today. This was a great conversation. I learned a lot that I didn't know. I'm just starting to, dip my foot inside of some of the peptides. So I want to thank you so much for coming here and help educate our viewers and for your time because I know you drove quite a ways from Austin to get here. Um, and for all of our viewers, make sure that you like, share, and follow so that you know when our next video is coming out.